Well, good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today, of the Rhino, and we're drinking a beer. Today's beer is from Burnside Brewing Company. This is quality crafted Toller Lager, and it's 5% alcohol by volume. So this was another 12-pack purchased from Burnside Brewing Company in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Just over $20 for a 12-pack. Seems to be making, from what I know from my friends in the Maritimes, that's a pretty budget beer, and I'm okay with that. Anything that's $2 or under for a can is still reminiscent of the old days of drinking beer. And by the old days, I'm talking 5, 6, 8 years ago. You know, like back when you could get a case of beer. Back when you could get a 2-4 for 2-4, which was actually in Ontario, your 24 pack would be $26.40 because you'd pay the deposit on it as well. However, here you get a little screwed, because even if you had a $24 2-4, you'd pay your deposit and then you'd pay your taxes on it, where all your taxes were included in Ontario. I don't know if the prices, like, I didn't pay tax because I'm buying it for another province. I didn't pay provincial tax, at least. But I don't know if you pay tax on top of the ticket price in the Maritimes. Could somebody let me know? Anyway, yeah, what do we got going on here? Brewed and canned in Atlantic Canada, 21 Frazee Avenue. Yeah, the cases all had a lot more on them. They were talking about how they were like a trusted friend and stuff, which is basically kind of how I'm looking at these, like your craft beer made for the masses, right? And I kind of can get behind that. None of the beers I've had by them yet, and I haven't gone to any of their big craft beers yet. I do have a Pilsner from them, a milk stout, a Pilsner, and a honey beer. And yeah, those aren't huge, oh my god, what have you done things. But I've basically had their regular lineup. And I've really, like, I've had some of their Toller stuff. I think this is my 4th or 5th beer from them that I'm reviewing, and I haven't disliked any of them. I can't say any of them are super flavorful, but I can say that they are what they're supposed to be. They're inoffensive. Anyone could enjoy them, as long as you're not a full-on snob that's going to be like, I can't drink a regular tasting beer. But if you're somebody who is hanging out with people who are Canadian or Bud or Coors or Miller or Moosehead or Oland or Alexander Keith's or Blue, or the list goes on, but Pabst, James Reddy. If you're somebody that's drinking that type of stuff normally, and your friend pulls out this, don't snob it because it's, well, maybe not this one, I haven't had this one yet, but they pull out something from Burnside, like Killick or any other Toller Light or anything like that. Don't snub it just because it's a craft brewery, because it's a craft brewery that seems to be marketed towards the people that wouldn't normally pick that. It's beer flavored beer is what it's been that I've had this far. We've talked way too much. Let's get into it, shall we? And I mean, some days you just want a beer flavored beer. So I'll say I've had their light. I've had their light lime, and I've had their Killick Premium, which isn't a Toller variant. It's just their actual regular everyday Helles Lager, and I've liked all 3 of them quite a bit. So this, to me, I'm expecting it to be in the, like, you know what, even if it, and when I first had this beer, I didn't like it, but now that I'm getting older, it's a beer that I could get behind. even if this is like Red Baron, I could probably get behind it. Um, it looks beautiful. I mean, it's pretty clear. I can't say crystal clear. There is the tiniest touch of haze to that, but it is straw yellow, bright white head, nice snap, crackle, pop. It looks purdy. It really does. Sent from the can. Mmm. That smells like a beer. I mean, there's not anything else to say. It's it's sweet. Over the can, it almost has a little bit of that minty note that, and people get weird. We all have paradigms. I don't know what it is about some macro beer and some craft lagers, but there's something in it that sometimes will give me a minty note. It's not something I'm usually going to pick up in the flavor or anything, but when I sniff it, like I get the biscuitiness, I get the sweetness, I get a little bit of it's in the back, it's in like the hoppy area. It's once you're starting to roll into the bitter. There's something but it's kind of minty, like, and not like peppermint or anything. Kind of spearmint like the little candy trees out of the glass. Nothing, absolutely nothing out of the glass. So you put this in front of me, I'm going to think you've handed me a beer. That's all I'm going to think. I'm going to be like, yeah, that's a Canadian or a blue or a plethora of at first, and then I'll look at it and go, it has a little bit of cloud to it. It can't be those. What could it be? I don't know. Could it be a moose head? Could it be an Oland? Could it be a what is it? And then I'm going to say, hey, cheers, and I'm going to go like this, and I said if this is on par with Red Baron, I'll be okay with it. But that's miles above Red Baron. Just a little cereal greeniness, a little sweetness, and the tiniest, tiniest touch of hoppiness at the back end. Just neutral bitterness at the back end. I would say that this is probably, I'm going to say 10 IBU. Does Untapped have an IBU rating? Oh, I greatly overestimated that. I don't know if that's true. It's saying 4. Coors Light is 7. Coors Light 7 IBU. I figure because there is a little bit of flavor back there. This is a little bit more than a Coors Light, but according to Untapped, that's wrong. But that matters if Untapped put it in or Burnside put it in. I don't know. 4 is, like I said, I would have guessed 10. I would have guessed 10 because there is the tiniest touch of bitterness. Like tiniest. I would say just slightly hoppier than a Coors Light, and a Coors Light isn't hoppy at all. It's fucking close to water. Light, crisp, refreshing. Light, crisp, refreshing, and that's it. A little bit of cereal greenness and a little tiny touch of hop bitterness, like the tiniest touch. This is a food pairing beer. This is a hanging out with your buddies beer. This is a camping beer. This is a This is a beer for people that just want beer and don't want the slightly off flavors you can get from American adjunct lagers. They want basically what a Coors Light would have tasted like when Coors Light first came into existence, before they started using corn and everything else. You want like the full all malt variant of Bud. Like you want the not cheaped out version. No high fructose corn syrup or anything like that. You want an all malt, all good local ingredient type of beer. And that's what this is. That's what this is. And I think that this brewery has come on to something amazing. I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking that they have, because this is fucking spectacular. And it's spectacular if you're just looking for, Chris E, who used to do, when we were doing chat with an interview with a rhino, and I need to get a new podcast host, or I need to find a way to get Chris going again, because I was having fun doing the podcast that we were doing. I really was. And now that we don't do it, I'm a little sad. And interview with a rhino was fun, but we were both always looking for that classic crisp lager flavor. And basically everything I've had by these guys is the craft crisp classic lager flavor. And I'm really excited to say that. I wish it didn't cost as much to get the stuff shipped out here, because this is stuff I would drink all the time. Stylistically, as an American lager, probably a 9.5 or 9.75 out of 10. You can't get much more perfect than what this is for the BGCP flavor notes, other than the fact that there's no corn in this. Well, I don't know if there's any corn in this or not, but there's no corn flavor in this. But personal enjoyment, probably an 8.5. I could just drop a 12 pack of these back and not even think about it. Like, I could be in front of the campfire with a couple joints, my wife sitting beside me, just staring at the fire, just popping these back over and over and over again, because these taste fucking phenomenal. Anyway, Toller Lager. Thank you. Bye-bye.